This is Sixth Seal of Light. Thank you for joining our channel, and I am Red. And we'll go ahead and get started. This is a general reading. It is not directed towards anybody. Also, I am not here to give advice as far as financial, medical, or legal. So if you seem to need somebody of those professions, please seek them out. We have two cards here that are standing out. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. The first card out is the Emperor card. So a question comes up, and it is one of where is it that we are limiting ourselves to being more of a leader and having more of a definite understanding of the choices that we make. Because the Emperor is one who sits in his authority when he is upright, and so maybe we've been out, here he is upright, but maybe we've been out of understanding where it is that we move from when it comes to allowing ourselves to make choices from a position that is not of authority, but more so as a leader. And then we have the Lover's card. This comes into the equation to possibly ask, what is it that balances us? Where do we see balance? Or what is it that we love and we seem to find relationship with when it comes to our current position? And so it's almost like a change that we're realizing we have to make, or that we might need to make to rebalance ourselves and love ourselves. What is it that you love about yourself that could use that self-nurturing love of both the masculine and feminine dynamic? Because we all hold those things, right? Okay. And then so it's a releasing of what is in this I want to say this equation. I don't usually use that term, but the equation of the situation. So what is it that we are seeking to release? Because that seems like it could be something that can bring us to understanding and realizing what it is in our minds that we can release if we give ourselves the opportunity to understand from what place it is that we love ourselves and nurture ourselves, or even others. What is it that you have come to see as holding you back, that you're now releasing? That's a question that you can answer. Because in this position of the Eight of Swords reverse, it is coming to understand that something has been revealed to you that you could use to help release whatever these thoughts are that you've been holding on to. So what thoughts or scenarios from the past could you possibly release that could benefit you at this time? And then we have the Eight of Wands on its side. So it could be something that creatively is holding you back, where you want to move in a direction, quite possibly, that is you feel could be blocked from this. Are you feeling blocked from what it is that you are encountering right now in this change of seeing yourself in a new light? And I say this because of the way that the woman is looking at the man in this picture. If you want to relate it to Adam and Eve, or just the Garden of Eden, and so I feel as though there is a block here. It's almost like we're trying to make our way into something cell-driven. And okay, it's more so what is it that we are wanting to create from this Queen of Wands position, right? What is it that we hold when we wield this wand that allows us to create the things that we desire, the things that we're passionate about? Because that in turn could be what is blocking us, is the imbalance of the love that we have for ourselves. So it's believing that we are capable of doing it. Do we feel like we're capable of doing and achieving what it is that we're moving towards, what we're trying to create? Because when we realize that we are, we can then see that the releasing of the past thoughts and emotions that we hold towards a situation that once occurred. So it's almost to say, well, we don't have to forgive others. That is entirely up to us. But at the same time, holding on to the emotional baggage and the remembrance of the things that were brought on by others, sometimes releasing that not for the sake of others and their understanding of how we feel, but for ourselves. So while it is our choice whether we want to address it directly with somebody versus addressing it with solely ourselves, in this position, when we do that and we acknowledge what it is that our hearts are holding on to, we then can open up our pathway into releasing what we thought was holding us back, because it is in turn again our choice and our decision to see things and know that we can sometimes have the ability to hold our own selves back through the way that we think, the way that we process things, and that all we have to do is see it for what it is, and that is our own possible ability, our own potential ability to be the one who ties ourselves down because of the past transgressions of others towards us. So what is it that you possibly are holding on to that could benefit you when you release them through acknowledging their presence? Almost like a thorn in its side. Like you feel this pain, but you don't know why, and you are trying to understand it from a place that is interconnected with balance, but realizing too that it is holding you back. And then we have the Knight of Wands. This is a process that is not to be forced, but also it is a process that can be helpful in attaining a message on how we can create from that Queen of Wands when we acknowledge it. So is there anything that you could be faced with at this time that might be making you feel not so confident in the choices and decisions that you're making as a leader, if you hold this place? Because I feel as though this could be a situation where people do look up to whomever this reading is meant for. And in this position, it's almost as if while that seat is had, and that title has been given to be a leader, whoever this leader might be might not feel that they are have the adequate capabilities or criteria or references. I'm getting a resume. So maybe this is a job. Maybe this is an occupational occurrence, where it's understanding where your strengths lie and understanding that you can create this emperor to go upright. And what is it that you might be taking from understanding from within you and in the place in this moment that you are moving through that could help release what it is that you once thought you were incapable of doing. It's definitely building a better relationship with oneself in order to better hold who you genuinely are with confidence. Okay, these two were on its side, and then we have the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune on its side. So while I get this feeling as though this situation here is it's not entirely like complete, because the Wheel of Fortune is on its side and the King of Pentacles is on his side. And so when we can take them both and work through this energy, if we choose to, then we can then be one who creates with this, not entirely the Emperor's decision making, but to show that we move with more confidence in what we've created. Like I'm still being made is what I'm hearing. I'm still in the process of becoming this role. And with that, the Wheel of Fortune can also come to an upright position. So it's a decision we have to make to step out of an Eight of Swords placement. So what is it that we could do if we choose to get the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune upright? That ultimately is the question, because while they're on their side and our goal would be, I would hope, to turn them upright, they still have the possibility of going reversed. And that's where our free will comes in. That's where our autonomy comes in, where we decide what is being asked of us, not by the outside world, but from where we sit with ourselves from within. So again, this is whomever this reading is for, this is purely your decision based on the experiences that you have gone through, and allowing yourself to see the changes that are being made or have been made in the process, but taking them not as a place to hold you, but to help get you to move in a direction that will be one that brings about something new, right? And a new perspective, because then we have the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is to say, okay, it says slow down, take your time, just sit here, maybe look at this from a different angle, maybe understand that while you feel like you might be between a rock and a hard place in this position, it doesn't last forever, and there's something to gain from that, something to gain from the awareness and the observation of the situation that is in front of us, but also what it is that could uncover what we've been blocking ourselves from seeing all along, potentially. Because I'm seeing the vine here on another rope next to him, like he is hanging. So it's as if to say that while he's needing to have a new perspective, the things in which he's creating are hung up too. It's not to say they've stopped. It's to say they're needing to pause too. So in a reevaluation of what we're creating from our King of Pentacles being on the side here is what is coming to my my attention. And so from what can we gain from a new perspective? What can we allow to grow, not as in this moment, in this very moment, because we might feel as though we are a bit blocked from this discovery of how we pay attention to ourselves, and the way we love ourselves, as well as how we move, the manner in which we move. Do we move with fire, or do we move with like this rigid sense of direction? Like, I'm just going to do it because it's required. Or am I going to do it from a place of joy, passion, and happiness, knowing that it's creating what it is that I want in my life? So, okay, we're going to pull a few oracle cards here. Okay, light is returning. Can you feel the shift? So an awareness is becoming more, I'm sorry, I just blanked out. It's almost like the light to the hangman. And I say this because it's like it's almost like aha moment that happens when we take the time to really focus on what is being called of us. So what might be calling you to pay attention to with your own self, to become more aware with that sits within you? What is calling you to realize where you might be having a lack of confidence in the way that you move and the way that you create, but also the way that you hold and express the way you feel about doing what it is that you're creating, right? The shadow is not your enemy. It reveals what's ready to heal. And so I think that goes back to where we were with the Emperor, right? But also the three of Swords reversed. So the Three of Swords reversed here is understanding what is ours to hold and what is no longer meant to be a part of what drives us, because and I say this because of the fire in the background. What is it that we want to create? What is it that we want to put our time and our passion in? Because when we are out of balance, it's like we have to empty space in order to open space to receive. That's what I heard. We're going to leave it at that. And then we have every ending is the universe's invitation to begin again. So again, on top of the Wheel of Fortune, ups and downs, beginnings and endings, changes of storyline, right? And so just because relationships end doesn't mean the story has. We have the opportunity to carry on creating what it is that we want in our lives, with a sense of intention and purpose, but also love. But we have to understand what we're holding on to and the things that intertwine. Because again, I'm going to bring this up. If you look at the trees, in the trees, there are these windy, it's almost like viney pieces, right? And then here, it's the vines. So it's almost like to say that the things that we are creating, we're wanting to create or plan on creating, they will continue to grow as long as we allow them to. But when we find ourselves in these in situations that might need our attention to be redirected in a more I don't want to say productive, constructive manner, then we can move with not just a sense of clear purpose, because it is my belief and my opinion that we don't ever really truly know what our purpose is, no matter who we go to or ask. But as long as we listen to what we are being shown in our stories, as with the Wheel of Fortune on its side, and we see what those lessons and those situations have been able to teach us, what we gain from those through perspective, then we can quite possibly shift the narration of our story and make it more of what we wanted versus what we had been told it would be, but with confidence and with a new passion for growing it and creating it. So, if you liked this reading and it resonated, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And until next time, this is Red with Sixth Seal of Light. Thank you.